Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to take you to Barbados with me on my first solo international trip. This was the next morning after I arrived. I was on the first floor at my hotel, so I had a patio area that led out to this backyard which had the perfect view of the beach, and it also had like a pool area and some games and things like that, like a game room out there. But I didn't spend much time there. I spent most of my time while at the hotel, either on the beach or at the restaurant. So I've taken several pictures on the beach. I of course have to record the waves so that later on in the future I can go back and listen to that. My beach feet and my braids swinging in the wind, y'all. This was my first meal. This was actually an appetizer that I started out with, and of course my rum punch on the side. It was so good, y'all. Later that afternoon I went on a Catamaran Cruise with Cool Runnings. This was actually one of my favorite parts of the trip. I wish I could have done this every single day that I was there, had I known it was going to be this fun. So I wanted to show my feet because this was my new pair of feet, or at least my right foot was new from my bunion surgery. This is the meal that they had. I believe this food was unlimited, and it's probably dependent on how many people are on the cruise with you. But the rum punch was definitely unlimited, free rum punch, and I took advantage, full advantage of it. Barbados is actually where I fell in love with rum punch. So although I was solo, I still made some friends. This was like my cruise mother. She watched after me after drinking all of those rum punches, but she and I just hit it off immediately. She was there with her husband, but we spent so much time together while on the cruise, and I enjoyed her and her company, her and her husband, their company. It was amazing. So here is actually some of the guys who were working this ship. The guys in the white shirt actually were trying to get the sail up, I believe, and two of the passengers were trying to help. My friend jumped in, wanted to take some pictures, but these guys were so amazing. Like, they were fun, as you can see. They interacted with us, made sure we were good the entire time, helped us refill those rum punches. Oh my gosh, y'all, I was actually in mid-sneeze just now, so bear with me here. But my friends were able to take some pictures of me. Had a little photo shoot on the boat, of course. More rum punch. This is where I was feeling the rum punch. Like, you can tell it. Even in my selfies, like, I didn't even know what was going on at a certain point. But I was in good hands. They were just showing us around. They showed us some celebrity houses and I guess some important markings around the island. I can't remember exactly, but I know they showed us where Rihanna lives when she is living there, or when she goes there. This is me enjoying some more rum punch. Taking some more photos, of course. They actually had a snorkeling part of this tour, and I was gonna snorkel, but had to decide against it. This is one of the celebrity houses. This is afterwards, me at the hotel. I had to go to the restaurant and just get something else to eat to soak up some more of that rum punch. This was the next morning. I was beach ready. My beach read was Michelle Obama's Becoming. I had started reading the book before this trip, but it was just like, let me hurry up and finish this book at that point. So this is just me laying on the beach. They had some nice comfortable beach chairs from the hotel. Later that day, this is when I just decided to take a tour of the city with my private personal driver, Chris. This part here reminded me of back at home in South Carolina, so I just wanted to record and capture that moment. And shout out to Chris, by the way. He was my driver the entire time. He picked me up from the hotel, from the airport, and also dropped me off there. It took me everywhere I needed to go. I trusted him. I was headed to Harrison's Cave that day. This is my first time actually in a cave. They had a museum part in the beginning, and then they took us on the train thing to show us around. I was really fascinated about the crystals, those weird looking things that you guys see, because I didn't know they were like that. Like, I didn't know they looked like that. So I was kind of creeped out, maybe. This is me on Rihanna's drive. This is where her childhood home actually is. So my best friend had actually told me that this was one of the landmarks in Barbados. So I was like, oh, I have to check that out. She's a super Rihanna fan. So Chris was actually laughing at me at how fanned out I was over Rihanna. This is me just in the town. I love the backdrop here, seeing the different buildings. This was out by the souvenir shops that I went to. People were just out fishing and enjoying just a beautiful day. This was, I believe, like a museum slash restaurant. There weren't any customers at the time, so they may have been closing, but we were able to walk through and I snapped a couple of photos. Later that night, I went to the Oysters Fish Fry, which takes place, I believe, every Friday in Barbados. Now, this was 2019, so pre-COVID. So if you do have a trip planned for Barbados or you want to go, make sure you check whatever COVID restrictions that may apply. I don't know if they do still have lockdowns or restrictions right now, but I would check that out before you go here, just in case. But this was a really cool thing. These are just some of their locals on the stage dancing to the music. It was actually some tourists up there as well, as you might have seen. But I just love watching the concert, watching them move and just have a good time up there fearlessly. At first I thought it was like an organized group, but after a while I could tell it was just, you know, random folks want to go up there and show off their moves. So I was okay with that. So what made me decide to come to Barbados? Well, first off, I wanted to really do a solo international trip because it was just one of those things like that was on my list to do, and I felt like I would be really brave to do so. And just so happened, I met a friend who like travels solo all the time. Well, she's a world traveler, but she's been to so many different countries, and most of them she's traveled to solo. So my biggest concern was, where could I go safely? And I asked her that question. She gave me a long list, and she asked me, you know, what's your preferences? And I'm like, you know, I love the beach. So Barbados was her first suggestion for me. And she actually gave me a list of things to do. She gave me ideas on where to stay. Like, she gave the whole itinerary that she used when she was there. I actually found out about the fish fry through her. I found the private driver through her. It was the same one that she used. So I felt pretty safe here and I enjoyed my stay. Now, one thing that's important to mention is that she now has her own business giving travel advice and suggestions, and basically like a travel agency, helping you find flights at a good rate, or when the best time to book the flights is. She's really good at that, and I like it because she's actually been to these places. Most travel agents have not really been to where the places that they're booking your vacations, but she's been there and can offer some solid advice on that. So I'll actually be pinning her information to this video once I get everything about her business. So the tourist up there, of course, just being a tourist. But yes, Barbados was a trip to remember. I was here for my birthday and just celebrating finishing the CPA exam. It was also 3 months after my bunion surgery, so I was still limping and stuff. My foot wasn't 100% healed, but I still had a great time. Another great thing to mention is the people at the hotel, they noticed that I was limping and everything, so they were looking out for me as well. This was the meal that I ate while I was at the fish fry. Can't tell you what it was exactly. I had a snack. The bag, I believe, says fish cakes, but I'm not sure what it was in there. It was pretty good though. And I had maybe like 2 rum punches that night. Of course, I had to have my dessert. This was the next day, chilling on the beach. Don't mind me here in this video because although it looks like I'm singing, I'm actually just mumbling or mouthing some mumbo jumbo. This next section is just food appreciation. That's one of the local beers. People were saying how big, they were with the local beers. I made it to breakfast one day, you guys. I'm not a big breakfast person nor a morning person, so I was missing breakfast almost every day, but when I finally did make it, it was really good. So this night I actually went club hopping, bar hopping, so to speak, on the strip that Chris took me off. He dropped me off to. I found this place that had live music. This was like their outdoor patio area. It had a bar out there. I was able to sit back, enjoy this band, which was really good. I wish you guys could hear the music, like the singing was really good and everything, but I don't want any smoke with YouTube or the artist, so you'll just have to use your imagination. But this place, they actually had a club on the inside as well, but at the time that I was there, the club wasn't really jumping like that. So it was just more fun to stand outside and listen to the live band play and order some drinks and stuff and people watch. I saw like the finest man, second to Morris Chestnut, the finest man in the world that night. And I was like, I had some snaps of him, but I'm not going to show that here. Sorry, guys.
So this was my last day. I decided to get a massage at the Accra Beach Hotel, which was a couple hotels down from where I was staying. This was just my photo shoot in the courtyard area at the hotel that I did stay in. And that is all, you guys. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.